Good morning, afternoon, evening, maybe. I don't know. It depends on where you are in the world. But hello and welcome to DoMoreLife, everyone. We're going to talk about breaking news in Thailand today, and we're going to talk about the impact that these continuous, never-ending, it seems, lockdowns and travel restrictions are having on Thailand. And we're going to find some positivity in it, and we're going to do it all in a very short amount of time because I don't have a lot of time to stream today. To be honest with you, I'm not feeling well. Working essentially 3 jobs, and what I'm calling right now an internship is time consuming. So I need a little rest, and I'm going to get a little bit of rest today. So welcome everyone. Glad you are here. Asia Unscripted said my premiums for medical and dental combined are $7 every 2 weeks. That's incredible, man. Congratulations, Asia Unscripted. That's ridiculously awesome. I mean, that's just I'm so happy for you, man. I really am. Really am. So this video discusses Thailand breaking news in August 2021. This video discusses the impact of the lockdowns and travel restrictions Thailand is using to slow the spread of infections, which it's not working because today we had another all-time high. Again, I'll say it until the mindset changes here in Thailand. The overarching officials, I don't see any improvements in terms of lockdown restrictions being lifted or anything else. I see a lot of people. Yeah, I missed that too, Ross. There's and good morning to you, Ross, by the way. But, you know, it's pretty clear at this point that these lockdowns and these travel restrictions, by the numbers, are simply not working. The only good, yeah, I agree. They might as well just open it back up. The only really, I guess, good thing that I'm seeing in the news is that there are more people being discharged from care due to the lockdown, or I'm sorry, due to the illness or due to COVID, than there are number of cases being reported every day. So that's a good sign, always. Hello, Tim. Good to see you, bud. Mr. Charles White, you're awesome. Made a queso in 30 seconds before you start. I hear you, bud. Homemade queso. I hear you. These restrictions are crippling the Thai economy and decimating what is left of the tourism industry. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute as, well, this news affects expats, foreign and domestic travelers. Also, the reopening of Pattaya has been indefinitely postponed. That should tell you what kind of trouble the country's in here. I'm not going to mince a lot of words. I'm just going to be pretty straight and direct today because like I said, I really don't feel well. I had a rough night last night and I'm really tired. And when I get in that position, I tend to just kind of say what's on my mind and hope I don't get myself in trouble. Travel TV, it's good to see you, bud. Thank you guys for giving a thumbs up. I appreciate that very much on the video. So I wanted to talk to you about a couple things that I've seen in the news very recently. First of all, let's talk about how well the lockdowns are working. Today sets a new record for infections. I believe yesterday set the record for people who are no longer with us. Today, 22,782 new infections, but 23,649 were released from hospitals or field hospitals as well. So that's my silver lining in all this, is there seem to be more people being discharged daily than there are cases being reported. So maybe things are moving in the right direction. I'm not sure. Ty Guy Bry, good to see you, bud. Tim says there's no, there's really not a tourism industry left in Thailand, Tim. Right now, the Phuket Sandbox and the Samui Plus are basically the tourism industry. Jazz, good to see you, man. Hadn't seen you in a while. Ty Guy Bride, good morning to you. Mr. Lyle, as always, thank you for stopping by, my friend. I appreciate you being here. So the NBT has provided the following public service announcement. We cannot keep at least 2 meters away from people. Wearing masks is still a must do to protect ourselves and the others against COVID. Wearing a mask properly can help reduce the spread of the latest Delta and other variants. Number 2, new homegrown COVID jabs that would be delivered via a nasal spray are going to start human trials by the end of 2021. Officials say the vaccines already had promising results using mice. The nasal spray was developed by the National Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology. The vaccines are based on the adenovirus and influenza. Thailand's public health ministry has begun distributing 645,000 doses of Pfizer. Well, I should have just said Pfizer. Jabs donated by the U.S. government to those deemed vulnerable in 13 dark red provinces. By the way, they donated 1.5 million. So I guess the rest of the vaccines went somewhere else. 212 Roger, what's up, buddy? Hot and fiery in Northern California. May as well be back in Chiang Mai. Oh, no, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Jazz says, yeah, my schedule is all over the place. I'm usually asleep now. Yeah, my schedule got messed up yesterday pretty bad. Tim says, if and when Thailand reopens to tourism, they will have to start right back to square one, and that is if they can. And the leadership of Thailand better be aware and prepared for this. I have some thoughts that I need to share offline, probably in the line group, about that particular topic, Tim. I'm sorry you're not in the line group, but that is something that I want to address because that's a very, very, very good point. Travel TV says, I go to Phuket next month if my paperwork goes through. Well, I'm happy for you, bud. I really am. I hope you have an amazing time and an amazing experience. I really do. But the rest of the country is not having an amazing time or an amazing experience right now. In fact, well, there's a positive side to everything. And the positive side is we're going to get through this and we'll come out learning a lot from it. But right now, I'm just at the point of where boredom and stagnation and this never-ending cycle of lockdowns and restrictions and the logic that's being used over here is just beyond frustrating. It's beyond frustrating. Yeah, good question, Ross. Tim says, Facebook me, Jeremy. I can do that. Tim says, Ross hence the term if. Yep. Jazz says, Jeremy, are you back to work yet? I'm still partially furloughed. I've taken on a job with a online teaching company to supplement some of the income, and that's going okay. The job's great, but the bookings are, there was a big hoodoo in China. China has regulated that foreign teachers outside of China can't teach Chinese kids anymore, and they're just doing the contracts that are left. But luckily, the company that I'm with is not closing down. They're going to be expanding outside of China. So, and then I have YouTube as a third job. And people say YouTube's not a job yet. Well, try making some income on YouTube, and then tell me if you think it's a job or not. And I've taken up I'm calling it an internship, but it's hopefully will turn into a full-time job with another business here in Thailand. And I'm really excited about that, by the way, but it's just so much on my plate right now. And I can do it. I can definitely do it. It's just trying to get the pieces to fall in place. You know, the online teaching gig, the bookings come in different times, different days. I mean, it's always different. There's no set schedule. My partially furloughed job has me working 2 days a week. That hasn't changed recently. The 2 days haven't, but it's subject to it anytime. So it's just a lot of uncertainty right now. Roy says the UK still has similar case and death numbers compared with Thailand. It has jabbed many more people, so fully jabbed is not. Yeah. We're eventually somebody's going to learn, Roy. Hood Famous, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hey, Jeremy, is it true about sunscreen becoming illegal in Thailand? 100K baht fine. I don't know about the 100K baht fine, but they have banned certain types of sunscreen over here. They say it's killing some of the reefs and wildlife and that kind of thing. Tim says, so that seems to be exploding. Yep, it does. But you have to have all kinds of licenses to do that. Ross says, hood, yep, in certain areas to protect the coral. Roy says, only certain types of sunscreen. I believe that's correct. Charles White says, if they get this down to a nasal spray, can they start just fogging entire areas like they would for mosquitoes? Kind of scary. Hey, that's a fair point, Charles. That's a fair point, man. That's a good question, too. Jazz says, is the same with neighboring countries, Cambodia and stuff? Yeah, the neighboring countries, I've done just a little bit of research on that, and they're pretty much still in, they're kind of going to follow whatever the first successful country in Southeast Asia does. I don't know if you guys consider Singapore Southeast Asia. I don't even know if Singapore considers themselves Southeast Asia, but Singapore is now up to I just saw the news this morning, 70% herd immunity. So they're doing the thing. They are doing the thing. Everybody needs to look at what Singapore has done and do the damn thing. Just do it. You know, I know that's a Nike motto or whatever, but I'm saying I'm not using that in Nike's terms. I'm saying the governments around the world need to just do it and get it done and move on with it. Okay, some people want this thing, some people don't. You can't force the people that don't want it to get it, and those that do want it, they need to have access to get it, right? Full disclosure, I've had one jab. I'm waiting on my second one. I plan to get them both. Personal decision I made. And originally, I wasn't going to do either. I wasn't going to do that. But I decided, for my own reasons, to go ahead with it. Tim says Thailand's economy is going down the toilet with the force of bum gun spray, and they're worried about sunscreen. That's true. That's a good point. They worry about a lot of things over here instead of what's actually going, like the big things that are happening, Tim. And that it's scary. It really is. It's scary. I don't understand what, I don't understand what you know, you hear the term Thai logic a lot over here, and it's most of the time it's funny, but right now it's not. It's serious, and it's causing a lot of damage, and it's hurting a lot of people. I can't get into specifics about death rates and stuff like that over here, but I can tell you to watch Integrity Legal. I'm not necessarily promoting their services in any way, form, or fashion. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice. I'm not a travel agent. This is not travel advice. This is just me living in Thailand for the last 3 years, 3 months. 4 months, however long it's been. And I'm telling you what I see based on my experience and based on traveling a little bit in Southeast Asia. I've been to, Taiwan's not really Southeast Asia, but I've been to Taiwan, Philippines, and Singapore. And Jazz, thank you so much for your Cash App, brother. I appreciate that contribution very, very much. A little bit goes a long ways these days. And thank you, Jazz. Much, much, much appreciated. $10 for support, according to Jazz. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. And I will send you a little heart for for that contribution, Jazz. Thank you, brother. Let's see. Let me go back up here and catch the comments before I get to the breaking news. Hey, Janice, I see you down at the bottom. Good to see you. thank you for joining me from the Philippines. Let's see, from a like that. Yeah, so I think I answered that question, Jazz. And I answered Tim's, Charles White, DDT. Yeah, like DDT in the old days, right? Yeah. Singapore is considered Southeast Asia. Okay, good. So I don't feel so bad about using Singapore. Singapore is an example that the rest of Southeast Asia needs to look at. They need to look at heavily because Singapore did something right. In fact, they did a lot of things right, but I'm not going to harp on that. Somebody in Southeast Asia, for those of you that don't know anything about Southeast Asia, okay, this is a land mass of saving face. Pride and ego is everything over here to everyone, okay? You cannot embarrass people over here. They cannot say they're wrong. They cannot admit they're wrong. That's just that's the culture of Southeast Asia in general. All right. So let me be clear when I say that going back or anybody backpedaling, admitting they were wrong over here, or trying to do something that another country is doing while giving that country credit for it is almost impossible. And that's the ego of the ego of the upper echelon of people that make these decisions about vaccines and lockdowns and that kind of thing has crippled Thailand, really, economically, emotionally, physically to some people. It's just not been a good thing. It really hasn't. However, the health minister yesterday, I heard, had ordered approximately 30 million more doses of different jabs, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So hopefully the jabs will get here sooner rather than later. They'll not be bureaucratic about it. And, the U.S. has contributed a lot to the vaccination program over here. I hope they continue to do so. Not that it's their responsibility. I just hope that they continue to do so. And other countries, the UK has done the same. And, I hope that continues. I really do. Jess says Singapore always seems to be ahead of the curve on all things. That's true. That's a very good point, Jazz. Tim says, Charles, didn't America do that kind of thing in Vietnam? It's called Roy says, the Prime Minister of Singapore seems to know what he's doing. Cool guy, in my opinion. Hey, I agree with you, Roy. Tim says, I think the dude from Integrity Legal is just getting ticked off about the whole thing. I do too. He sees what's happening in Thailand. And it's not a good time to be here. It's really not. Don't get me wrong, I love this country. I love it so much. Being able to travel, I say the few, some people would say the many, but I would say the few places I've been in Thailand have just been absolutely breathtaking, amazing. It's been an honor and a privilege to be in this country as long as I have. And it will continue to be an honor and a privilege. Thailand is my home. I just want to see it recover. That's all. I want to see it recover. Lyle says, I think this is the first live stream in a while without a hat. It is, because I had a class this morning, so I had to fix my hair, and I haven't been able to get a haircut in 2 weeks because barbershops closed. Tim says, so it sounds like American General. I don't remember where the order was from, Tim. I don't remember, but I do remember reading it. Robert B., hello, sir. No worries about being late. Could anyone in the chat please give me the 2-cent catch up? We haven't really got started yet, Robert, to be honest with you. I'm just talking about the general impact of what the lockdowns and the incredibly slow rollout of the vaccination program over here, what it's done to Thailand. I'm getting to the news, so you're actually getting here at a good time. Philtho says, hey there, no, oh there, soon I got to go there. Yes, sir. Yes, you do. Thank you for coming by, Philtho, so I appreciate that. The Seattle Sideshow says, are people being forced to take the jab? No. No, they're not being forced to take the jab over here. Tim says, this is not a time for ego by any means. It's a time to shut up and help one another. I couldn't agree more. Tim. I couldn't agree more. It's definitely time to help each other, for sure. I could get more into that, but I'm not going to. Okay, so let's get into some of the breaking news over here. I'm going to start with the oldest first. So the police were using rubber bullets in some of the downtown happenings that were going over here, and the courts rejected the ban to stop them from using rubber bullets. So they're still using rubber bullets. There is a so-called, well, first I want to say there's an unused Phuket prison that is now turning into a hospital in Phuket. And if you notice, they've stopped publishing the number of Phuket sandbox cases. Like, it's, who can find them? I can't find them. They're not putting it out there. Hey, gotta love Thailand. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. They're not publishing them anymore. So that signifies to me that there's probably quite a few cases with the Phuket sandbox. But they know, see, that's what I'm talking about. This is ego and pride, right? They know if they close that down or if they shut it down or whatever. I mean, arrivals have went, but if they shut it down, then they've lost face. They can't do that. Yeah. Because there are none. Come on, gotta love Thailand. You know better than that, bro. That they were going up, and then all of a sudden you just stopped hearing about them. So the fact that yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So let's talk about this article. I'll start with this first. A doctor has demanded, I'm not going to call his name, demands full disclosure over the Pfizer distribution. Doctor, his name, the former Pheu Thai Party MP, is demanding the government provide a full disclosure regarding the distribution of the 1.5 million doses of Pfizer that the U.S. donated to Thailand. The former MP, who says he represents the people sector, delivered a petition this morning to the public health minister and man deprived of credit for vaccines donated by the U.S. And to Mr. Enuton, is what I call him because I can't pronounce his last name. His first name is Enuton, which is the public health minister here, requesting explicit details for the Pfizer distribution. This doctor told the media that he has been on the receiving end of complaints from medical officials who are involved in combating COVID. He says they have spoken to him about their reservations about the vaccine distribution. Further, this doctor says many people who are not frontline medics / ineligible people are still getting the vaccine. It's this doctor's opinion that anyone that gets the Pfizer jab should have their name publicized in the interest of transparency. He compared the name publicizing to eligible voters who have their names posted at polling units. Meanwhile, Anderton says the ministry has allocated the jabs to ensure that all frontline medics are jabbed without discrimination. He also swears there's no special vaccine allocation to specific groups. Well, we know that's, I mean, I can't come out and say we know that's not true, but we know for a fact that they allocated it to specific groups like frontline healthcare workers, right, and the military. That's where the rest of the what I was talking about earlier, that's where the doses went. Like, so whatever. This doctor had previously been arrested while attending a pro-democracy protest and attending to an injured protester. In fact, the doctor's civil disobedience has made him something of a folk hero in Thailand. And that comes from the nation Thailand, Thai PBS. That is the source on that YouTube. So I'm quoting directly from a reputable source. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Next, I talked about the nasal sprays that they're trying. Here's an interesting article. First, let me catch the comments. We'll go comments, articles, comments. Let's do that. Going back to facing ego. You're right, Tim. You're right. That's right. Pepe, I'm over this BS. I'll just watch Thailand videos from 2 years ago and will give up for now my quest to visit Thailand. A lot of people feel the same way you do, Pepe. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And right now, I'm not encouraging anybody to come to Thailand for more than a week or 2 weeks vacation. If you want to come for a week or 2 week vacation, you want to go through all the red tape at the Phuket Sandbox or the Samui Plus, by all means, go at it, right? Knock yourself out, have fun, enjoy it. There's a lot to do down there. But there's still a lot of things that are closed that you can't get to. Koh Lipe is under a month-long lockdown. There's some other islands out there that have locked down due to infection, and the situation doesn't seem to be improving in terms of case numbers. The focus is, let's get off the case numbers. Let's get off the people that we're treating, or let's get onto the people that we're treating, and let's focus on that. Because one thing we've learned, I mean, the numbers support this. I'm not a doctor. This is just going by the CDC statistics, by the numbers provided in the media. One thing we've learned is it's spreading, and it spreads more and more. Lockdown, no lockdown, doesn't matter. It spreads. So now you have to learn how to live with it. So get people jabbed, right, to lessen the symptoms or possibly prevent infection, and prevent hospitalizations and deaths. The jabs are good for that, I believe. I personally believe that. And then treat the people that have the illness, right? So when you get sick, you treat them. And it, like, just life moves on. I mean, it's not, I don't understand. But anyway, Filto says, if they want to save face, why not just call them new natural immunizations? That's a very good question. I wish I could get into that on this channel, Filtos. Robert B says, yes, losing face. The one thing I still don't truly understand, not saying I disagree with the custom, I just truly do not comprehend it. I comprehend it because I've been over here for so long. I've been in Southeast Asia for over 4 years now. So I comprehend the saving face thing completely. I'll never understand it. I'll never understand why the culture is the way it is. And it's because I come from a different culture. If I grew up over here, if I was a Thai citizen, if I was born to Thai parents, I would probably think that Western culture was crazy. So it is what it is. Lyle says that's because everything in Phuket is hunky-dory. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain, 10-4. Tim says, Charles, damn, that's fast. Lyle, yep, just moving along, nothing to see. Charles says, give me a ticket. I would be there faster than a fart in a hurricane. I hear you, bud. Roy says, now the CDC and U.S. have decided that Thailand's on the ban list. Tourism could finish off the sandbox, as most people who entered were from the U.S. Well, I think it's going to have an impact, but I think people from other countries are going to come too. The UK and that part of the world, Germany, France, other countries in that area are often visitors over here at Russians, India. A lot of those people visit here. So I don't know that it's going to come to a standstill, but I don't see it. I don't know. I have mixed emotions, Roy, just to be honest with you. Gotta Love Thailand says, I know the FIS is coming this week to private hospitals here in Sharon for the nurses and doctors. Good, very good. And the reason they're getting a third jab is because the Sino, they found out, lost its efficacy after a certain time frame. So, yeah, that's why we're we're having to do a third round with frontline people. Tim says, how does that work in Thailand? If someone should start talking about switching to democracy, would it be like if someone in the factory starts talking about forming a union? It's a little bit similar. Technically, this is supposed to be somewhat of a democracy. I don't know the exact terminology. I'm not a political scientist, but yeah, kind of. Lyle says, are there anti-vaxxers in Thailand? No, nursery. Yeah, they are. Europeans. Jeremy J says, recent government studies in Oxford, UK have found that vaccination reduces transmission, but less so of the death. However, what is effective at no matter the variant severity of symptoms? Recent study, that's what I've read too. Roy says, I think the Thai government are worried about the hospitals will become full and they could get like India. That would be the worst case scenario. Time will tell. Of course, they're worried about overcrowding in hospitals. That's why there's 100,000 people in Bangkok right now that are isolating at home. Just so you guys know. To free up field hospital beds and to free up hospital beds for those that are seriously ill with it. Is Thailand prepared for the variant when it comes? Not yet. I don't think so. But they may be. They may have a backup plan, so I can't say for sure, Tim. Filto says, I believe insurances issued from countries that basically ban travel to a place becomes void if that highest level of advisory is ignored. You very well may have a very good point there, Filtos. I'm not sure on that. I can't give my definitive answer because I just don't know. But it seems logical what you're saying. Charles White says the only thing the U.S. does by putting as red is giving the U.S. insurance companies an out. Okay. That's fair. If you get it, they won't cover you for travel to banned countries. Well, there you go. So thank you, Charles, for that. Kratom this is the headline. Kratom legalized, over 8,000 people will have charges cleared. So with Kratom being removed from the list of illegal narcotics in Thailand officially, on August 24th, the Office of the Narcotics Control Board says charges will be dropped or cleared for over 8,000 people. The ONCB announced that about 1,000 people who had been convicted of use, sale, or possession of the plant traditionally used in herbal medicine will have their convictions overturned and purged from their record. Additionally, 6,927 other cases involving kratom between October 1st of last year and August 6th this year, where 7,404 people were either indicted, charged, or arrested, possession, sale, or use of the drug, will be cleared of all charges. Their definition: kratom is a naturally occurring opioid plant related to coffee plants and gives a stimulant effect for several hours after consumption. It is commonly found in Thailand and other Southeast Asian countries and has been used for at least 200 years or so in traditional herbal medicine. It has been used to treat chronic pain and more recently for opioid withdrawal treatment. Though it has also been popular as a recreational drug. The medical effectiveness has not been proven, and there are side effects including erectile dysfunction, seizures, psychosis, and liver toxicity. So that's some stuff that you guys may be interested in if you're coming over here. I think the use of medical marijuana would be a good idea for the Thai tourism industry to kick back off when the country does decide to reopen. Just to be honest with you, I think that would bring tourism in. Just my opinion. That's just one way that I could do. I don't think Thailand would ever make it completely legalized, like you could use it recreationally. But if they did that, then you would see you would likely see a boom in tourism over here, and there would be people coming for that reason. So I don't know. Maybe they will do something like that. Who knows? There's no telling. The tourism that part of the economy is decimated so bad at this point. You can't really do much more to mess it up. That's the honest truth. Let's see. Charles said that's why I always get my insurance from the country I'm traveling to. Good point. 8,000 more people hitting the streets. Perfect timing. Tim says. Mario says, hi, friend. Portugal here. Hoping getting better. Thank you, Mario. We're hanging in there, buddy. We're hanging in there. And I want to see Portugal, by the way. Portugal's on my bucket list. So thank you guys for I appreciate the thumbs up also. I just got mentioned in the comment on Facebook. Let's see. I don't respond to crazy comments. Charles White says erectile dysfunction makes that a big note. Yep, I agree. Limosa Z says Singapore will be stealing all Thai's tourists. I have a tendency to agree with you. I think a lot of countries are getting the tourism that Thailand would normally get right now. Many countries. I think the Maldives are one of them. I think that South America is entertaining a bunch of tourists that normally come from or that would normally go to Thailand. I know we have channel members of this channel that are in not South America, but in Mexico right now, traveling and doing tourist stuff that they should be able to do. So another headline is Phuket Town Fresh Market closed for 1 week for COVID. So to the point of whether or not the cases are on the rise in the sandbox, why would you close a market for 1 week in Phuket Town if there were no cases there? Yeah. Lyle said, I'm sorry. Lyle's keeping count for me. Tim says, I said that weeks ago here about stealing tourism. Now is the chance to do so. Yeah, it is. I agree. So this is kind of big news, this one. And it really hurts my feelings, to be honest with you, because I enjoy, I took this trip one time, and if I can get the article to pull up, the ferry between Pattaya and Hua Hin is permanently canceled. That's a big problem for a lot of people because that's a 2-hour way to get from one side of Thailand to the other, to cross the Gulf. With travel restrictions for dark red zones limiting flights and bus services, ferries are not immune from the economic damages of COVID either. The ferry service running between Hua Hin and Pattaya hasn't been operating since last year due to COVID, but it now appears it will not ever restart. I really hope somebody listens to some of this stuff and makes some good decisions. Royal Passenger Liner Company was operating as the sole operator of the route and the only ferry service utilizing the Bali High Pier, which is in Pattaya. Yesterday, the mayor of Pattaya City announced that the ferry company, who had suspended their service citing the lack of foreign and domestic tourists traveling due to COVID, had requested a cancellation of their contract with the port. The trip sped up travel time between the two popular tourist destinations, taking just 1 hour and 40 minutes to travel across the Gulf of Thailand between the destinations. Royal Passenger Liner operated a smaller catamaran that could seat 150 travelers and a larger ferry that could accommodate 262 patrons. The troubled route launched in 2017, but struggled the entirety of its 4-year run. The ferry ridership was less than expected, and the route between Pattaya and Hua Hin proved to just not be that popular. I rode it, though. The ferry had various other troubles along the way. When COVID started shutting down the services and regions, it was the beginning of the end for the ferry route. So there goes another business that's gone. Thank you, lockdowns and travel, or not anti, but travel restrictions. Tim says to everybody in Thailand, so just sit at home and wait to exit this mortal coil. You may have to wait in the street under a light pole, but at least you won't be breaking the rules. Pretty much, that's about what about it almost seems like the higher ups are okay with poverty and homelessness. I mean, they the vast majority of these people that are doing like hunger drives and that are giving out these meals and doing all these great things are like groups, like humanitarian groups, or expat communities here in Thailand. There are some government sponsored things going on to help people, don't get me wrong, but they don't really seem to be putting a lot of effort into trying to make sure that, yeah, that's a fair point too, Tim. But they don't seem to be, it just doesn't seem to be a lot of effort. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I could be wrong. But it doesn't seem to be a lot of effort to make sure that everyone in this country has the support system that they need. I don't know. So that's all the breaking news that I have for today, guys. There's a headline that says tourism officials to launch major Phuket marketing campaign overseas. So apparently, Phuket is going to be the golden child of Thailand for a while, I guess. Charles says handouts can only last so long. Everyone is getting short on cash. 100%. 100% agree with you, Charles. 100%. And, let me be clear. I'm grateful to be in Thailand right now. I'm much happier to be here than I would be in America at this point. Well, I guess it depends on what state I lived in America. But for the most part, let's just say I'm more happy here. I'm grateful that I'm already in the country and I don't have to go through the process of getting in the country, because that's going to be a rough process for a long time to come, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Okay. I wish you all the best in your decisions when you make them to try to come to Thailand. If you are an expat that's coming over here because you have families, you have a girlfriend, you know that you're going to retire over here, then it doesn't matter anyway. Just come on to the sandbox, do your thing, and then come into Thailand. If you're a tourist, just know that when you come to Phuket, right, at least as of the making of this video, you're going to be pretty much limited to Phuket and the Samui Plus, whatever they offer. That's pretty much what you're going to get. So I wouldn't schedule a vacation for more than a week or two. And I would, unless I only wanted to see Phuket and the islands offered in the Samui Plus, like if I'm a person that wants to really explore Thailand, I probably would just wait to come to Thailand. Yeah, Tim, and that's another thing. A lot of restaurants are closed, and a lot of places are not serving alcohol. A lot of the nightlife's not there. All the nightlife's not there in these areas. So, depends on your intentions for coming. If you just want to chill on the beach and buy beer from 7-Eleven or whatever and hang out or whatever the case may be, then you should be fine. If you just want to go on day hikes and explore around the islands, you should be fine. But if you want to get the full Thailand experience, you can't do it right now. You just can't, because the things aren't open. I mean, they're just not. Roy says, some YouTubers have got around these rules, got a QR code from the hotel they're traveling to between provinces. You can get the QR code. You can go online and get the QR code if you have a reasonable reasonable reason to travel. I want to make sure I said that right. That they deem reasonable. You can get a QR code for that, and you can travel interprovincially. But it's my understanding that those QR codes have been limited. So Colarn is closed now. That's true, and so is, to the best of my knowledge, so is Kolipe. That could be problematic because that's a very popular island for people to take a day trip to. It's an expensive island, but it's it's just not the time to come if you're a true tourist looking for a vacation. It's just not the time, in my opinion. Again, it's just my opinion. So what I want to leave you with is the good news. And the good news is this is going to all come to an end one way or the other. Thailand's going to get back on its feet at some point. We don't know when that's going to happen. If all the press is true and the health minister has ordered 20 plus million jabs, that should definitely help the caseload come down, because it seems like the only thing Thailand cares about, it seems this way. I'm not saying that it is. It's just this is the way that I interpret it. Robert, thank you for putting up the PayPal link and the Cash App. I will pin that to the top should anybody want to contribute to the channel. It's not a requirement, but all contributions are certainly appreciated. And hello to you, Robert, by the way. Where was I at? It's just my opinion that chasing these case numbers and deciding everything based on the daily rate of infection is backwards from what needs to be looked at, right? Like, let's look at the number of people that are being discharged every day, because that number is higher than the case number, even though they're set a record high today for infections in Thailand. They also had more people discharged from care than they did that set the record, right? So for the number of infections. 212 Roger says, join me with a ching. August 11th was my birthday. 10-4 on that, 212 Roger. I don't drink, buddy, but thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it more than you could possibly imagine. I definitely appreciate it. All contributions are now going to set up back into the travel and equipment fund for the channel, so that when Thailand comes back online, we can go places and do things, and I can start vlogging again. I'm very much looking forward to that. And definitely a big happy birthday to you there, 212 Roger. Appreciate you, man, and definitely appreciate the super chat. You guys probably are looking at me thinking, Jeremy, you're about to fall asleep. That's because I slept about an hour last night, maybe two. IBS, rough night. That's all I need to say about that, really. And I had a class this morning, so I had to wake up, and I thought I might as well do a live stream while I'm up, because I haven't been able to put out a lot of videos just because life's been busy. Hopefully Thailand will get itself under control. I'm not, and I also want to be clear about one thing too. I'm not assigning blame to anyone. Okay, this is a thanks, Tim. This is a virus. Okay, this is not anyone in Thailand's fault, right? It's spreading. Okay, and people really need to stop blaming other people for the spread. Not everybody gets a flu vaccine or a flu shot every year, and people get the flu. I really want to see people stop blaming other people for what's going on in the world right now with this. If you have a strong opinion, that's fine. But as the old saying goes, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can openly express yourself on Facebook or whatever with your one-sided completely non-open-minded opinions doesn't mean you should always do that. It's not helpful. It's certainly not going to create any connections between you and the people that you disagree with. In fact, the best way to get someone else to understand your point of view is to have an open mind about theirs. And that's my opinion. That's what's always worked for me. Have an open mind about theirs doesn't mean you have to change your mind about your opinion, but if you listen to them, they're more likely to listen to you. And instead of making bold, outlandish statements, which may or may not be true, let's have a dialogue, right? So when you're on social media, just think about those things, because making people feel bad for something that really is out of their control is just not. I'm sorry, guys. I don't see the benefit of it. I don't see the value proposition in that. I just don't. I'll catch these last comments here and then I'll wrap it up. Tim says, Jeremy, I do like your shirt. Very snazzy. Thank you, sir. 212 Roger says, thanks, 59. I retired 9 years ago in Chiang Mai at 50. 6 months per year until last year. I hear you, bud. Congratulations, Roger. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're retired, and I'm glad you're happily retired, and definitely appreciate the contribution. Tim says, we are so far past the who's to blame BS. The question should be, okay, what do we do about it? I agree. I agree with that statement 100%. 100%. Charles said, today I heard a coworker blaming the people that won't get the magic shot. Wow, blame. Yep. You just can't stop the blame game. That's what I say. Just stop the blame games. Tim says, 59. Damn, you're not much older than me. I'm going to be 55 in September. Oh, Tim, you're getting up there, man. I'm 40. I'll be 41 in November, but my 10-year plan to retire at 50 seems to be coming along. Learning some new skills for sure. Definitely put some money in in some good places. Learning how to manage that even better, and hopefully we'll continue to do so. I'm not going to read what that headline just said. You guys can go to the Tiger and check out any more news today. But that is kind of the breaking news and the summation of what's going on in Thailand right now. Yep, I heard about that, Tim. I heard that he had left and went back to Canada. Many expats are leaving and going to other countries because there's just nothing to do here. There really isn't. Unless you have a job here, like me, there's nothing to do. I mean, if you're in the dark red zone, you can forget it. There's the malls aren't open, the barbershops aren't open. There's just nothing to do but to find a side project and do it. Pick up another job. That's what I did. Yeah. I talk to Mike frequently, and Tim, and he and I share some of the same thoughts on that. Charles says he just went to enroll his daughter into college, coming back. Chuck and Paige are leaving too. Yep, they are. Sadly, I did watch that video. I'm a fan of Chuck and Paige. I don't think they even know who I am, and that's fine. But hate to see them go. They'll be back. All these people will come back when Thailand reopens, and that's what the thing you have to look at right now. But the handling of this entire situation has been, some mistakes have been made, some things have been done right, and somewhere in the middle is a lot of good stuff that we'll see on the flip side of all this. The dancing monkeys. Possibly we may see some dancing monkeys one day, Lyle. But I just want you guys to know that not all this is doom and gloom. I wanted to share the breaking news with you because this weekend we're going to have some good live streams. Saturday, and in fact, one of the topics is coming from the line group. I'm going to use, I believe Lyle gave me the topic. We're going to do that one of the days, and I believe Sundays. This is just I'm going to throw it out there for you guys. You can message me. You can comment in the chat. You can comment after the live chat's over. I believe on Sundays we're just going to do kind of an open discussion on general travel and Thailand and just whatever you guys want to talk about on Sundays. And we'll have a topic-based stream on Saturdays, and then on Sundays we'll just kind of have open discussion day, and we can answer a lot of questions and find out a lot of information. We'll do research right here in real time. I have no problem with that, and because a lot of the people that are in the chat do a lot of research in real time already. Tim says, okay, Jeremy, I'm going to let you get some sleep, my friend. I will catch all of y'all later. Ciao for now. Tim, thank you for coming on, bud. Appreciate it. Take care of yourself, man. And I'm definitely going to rest. So keep the faith alive, guys. Keep the faith in Thailand alive. They will get it right. They definitely will get it right. Thailand will be the place to come again. Pattaya is reopening being pushed back indefinitely is very troublesome to me, but at the same time, we could see a quick turnaround on this. If they get the jabs in and that they change their way of thinking a little bit, just altered a little bit, maybe a little more open-minded to suggestions from other people outside this country that have implemented systems that work. You may see a change quicker or sooner rather than later. So there's always a chance. There's always a chance. You're saying there's a chance. There's always a chance. Guys, I love you very much. For those of you that contributed in any way to DoMoreLife today, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Really appreciate that. And for anybody who left a comment in the stream today, thank you guys so much for doing that. I really appreciate the dialogue. I want to thank all my moderators who do a great job of keeping the channel clean and clear. I really appreciate that. And thanks to Robert as always for coming in and dropping in the link. I appreciate that. I don't know why that's just Robert's thing, so that's what he does. But and he's a very good moderator also. I appreciate the thumbs up, guys. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up on your way out. I would greatly appreciate that. It helps with the algorithm of YouTube. With that being said, I love you guys. I mean it. Whatever you do today, no matter how bad it looks, just remember, you can always do more life. See you on the next one.